Hey guys, it's Moed here, and today I'm going to show you guys what I have on my iPhone. The iPhone I use is a iPhone 6 Space Gray 64GB with the black Apple leather case. Personally, I think this is a great combo for me and others as well. My iPhone is set up pretty well in my opinion, and it works very well for me. I have two pages of apps. The first page is for apps I use on a daily basis or need to use quickly, and then the second page of apps is apps that I would need sometimes, but I'm not always going to be using them. Starting off with my dock, I have the Messages app, which is probably my most used app, and second I have Instagram, which is pretty self-explanatory. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social networks, I'll have the links to them in the description down below. Next I have Tweetbot, which is probably the first app I installed when I got my phone, and I'm always tweeting, so make sure to follow me on Twitter. Next I have Snapchat, which is also pretty self-explanatory. So before I start off with the other apps, if I go too fast, feel free to pause the video and go back to see any other the apps I have on my phone. So on my first page I have Phone, FaceTime, Photos, and the Camera app. I also have a social media folder that contains Facebook Messenger, Google Maps, Google Hangouts, which works very well to communicate with my friends at school for projects and other things like that. I also have Facebook, which I don't really use that much, but I still have it on my phone. I have Gmail, Shots, and Yik Yak. Yik Yak is a very cool app, and the synopsis of this app is pretty much, depending on where you are, people just post random crap on there, and depending on where you are, the shit on here can be pretty funny, and it's a very cool app to just pass time with when you're bored. My next folder is my education folder, and unfortunately it is on my main page. But pretty much I just have apps in here that will help me with my homework or some apps that I need to use in class and whatnot. Next folder is finance, which has stock trading apps and my bank apps and other apps. I'm getting really into stock trading and things like that. Stuff I'll talk about later in the future, but Robinhood is also a pretty cool app, which I'll probably make a separate video on it in the future as well. Other than that, I have a settings, just the regular settings app. Other than that, I also have the alarm.com app for my security system in the house. So a couple other apps that I have is Solar, which is a pretty good looking weather app. I also have Clear, which is a to-do list app, which is kind of pricey. It was $4, but I think it's definitely worth the money. It saved me a couple times, and it's a very well-looking app as well. I also have Deliveries to track my packages, the YouTube app, as well as the Creator Studio app, which just lets me check stats and respond to comments and other things like that for YouTube. And then the last couple apps I have is Chase, Spotify, as well as Chrome being the last app on my homepage. On the second page, I have mostly folders and then just a couple apps. My first folder is my music folder, which is a couple apps I use for music on the occasion. I have an extras folder with just a bunch of crap I really don't use. Next I have a folder which is my to-do-list folder, which has apps that I use once in a while. My next app is a photography folder with pretty much just photo editing apps itself. The next folder I have is games. I don't really play games that often on my phone, but if I'm super bored, they are there for when I need it. Next is a shopping folder with apps related to shopping, other things like that in there. Next I have a couple apps which I use on the daily, which I just keep on my second page because I don't want to fill up my whole home page. For some reason I just don't like when it's all full. I have ESPN, Netflix, which is my bae, Uber, which is I love, and it's a lifesaver, and I pretty much always use Uber if I ever need a ride anywhere. I also have Lyft, but I really haven't used it that well because I haven't really seen anyone use it in my area, so it kind of just sits there. I have a bunch of free rides for it, but yeah. I also have the AT&T app for whenever I need to check my data usage. I also have Redfin and Zillow. Also have this app called My HAC or My Hack, which lets me check my grades, and two new apps I've gotten, which are GroupMe and Shake. GroupMe is a group messaging app, and then Shake lets you create legal contracts on your phone, which is pretty cool if you're like quickly selling something to your friend and you just don't want any problems with it. So that's about it for what I have on my iPhone. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, which helps a lot. Other than that, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.